Okay, so we're meeting today in order to go over the strategies that I'm presenting to you that you can use in your classroom. Okay, so we identify our goal, our area to improve, to help and encourage student engagement was modeling, right? Okay, so I have a different way of modeling I want to present to you, okay?
Okay.
So we have, instead of, how we create our own models, you gave some really good suggestions for modeling in the last video, like giving them giving them pieces of sentences to put together, or you showing them a model of how it should be done, so they can have something to guide them. You were also talking about have them correct paragraphs, showing them a model of a paragraph that's correct, and have them fix their paragraph. So that's some different things we were talking about doing. What I thought we could start doing though instead is using AI. Okay. AI is a wonderful tool. It's really a large language model, and it can enhance your writing instruction and help your students better understand the conventions, of writing. Okay, so this is the checklist that I have for you that you can go through when you're coming up with your lesson for conventions on punctuation, okay? So that's a checklist. So basically, you're going to choose which LLM you're going to use. What I found out today is on the students' Chromebooks, Google Gemini is blocked.
Okay.
That is my preferred one because it accesses the internet and the GPT. It uses both of them, so you have more resources available to you. However, because it's blocked on the students' Chromebooks, you have to use ChatGPT.
Okay.
So that one does work, okay?
Okay.
So first we're going to pick our LLM, which at this point, unless I haven't checked for Copilot, because Microsoft has one called Copilot. I didn't check that one, but we can see if that one works too. So then we're going to identify the learning objective, which I think you already know, which writing convention you want to work on for that lesson. And then we're going to develop some interactive exercises using the LLM, okay? Whether it's identification practice, sentence completions with specific conventions, those are just some ideas what you can do, okay?
Okay.
So during the lesson, so we checked off those, choosing the LLM, identify what we're teaching, and then you're going to prepare your activities, okay? And I do have some examples of things you can do for your activities, okay?
Okay.
You can have error identification, where you give them a passage with deliberate errors and have them use the model to identify and correct them. And you can adjust the difficulty of it based on what convention you're focusing on. Like you can do passages, just capitalization is wrong. And you can get AI to generate that passage for you. So you don't have to make up your own passage. You can just tell AI, please create a paragraph of so many sentences with how many errors you want in capitalization. And it'll spit that out for you, and you can use that and present that in your slides presentation to the students. Or you can give it to them in a Google document, let them access it themselves so that they can copy and paste it into the ChatGPT and let it correct and explain why those things need to be corrected, okay? You can give them sentence completion activities where they have a sentence starter and they have to and they use them to get the model, the ChatGPT, to correct it grammatically and demonstrate different ways the conventions can be done right. You know what I'm saying? So it can give them examples. All right. Self-editing, they can take their own writing, which is the one I really am most focused on them doing, in my opinion. It may be the most helpful. If they've already written a passage, you can have them go through it and make their own corrections as best they can, but then have them type it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to correct it and tell them what their mistakes are. That way, they'll be able to get a little lesson on what they did wrong and why it was wrong. Okay? So those are different things. You can also get it to model different writing styles. you may want to show them, create a model for your class. Let's say we're doing persuasive writing, which is different than informational.
Right.
So you may want to show them ask ChatGPT to give you an example or a model of that type of writing with whatever topic you want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I love when you use biology in there, so maybe you can do something with biology so they can double dip, you know. And then you can find real world examples on there as well, or have them look up. So the key, the hands-on part of this isn't necessarily working with manipulatives, but hands-on is them in their computers using these tools to help them better understand the topic, the writing conventions. Okay. The key thing to remember, though, whenever you use a large language model, it's not perfect. It does make mistakes.
Okay.
It does have some biases based on what data they feed it. It may have some biases in it on certain beliefs or certain things like that.
Right.
But you can still use it as a tool. It's not going to replace your expertise, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's just something, so you need to check whatever you create with it, just double check and make sure it's giving you what you really need. And it's all about the questions you ask it or how you input it.
Okay.
So I can work with you to help you put in the right question to get the best results. But still, even then, we need to, want to check and make sure it's right. And also, it's not just getting them to use the right conventions, make sure they understand why. So when they put their paragraph into the ChatGPT, they can ask for feedback on it, not just corrections, but why is this wrong? And it will tell them why. So hopefully they'll better understand the importance of the conventions when they use them. Okay, so these are some of the things you can do. On our checklist, we just talked about. They can use it. You got to introduce it to them and make sure they know how to use it. I think you saw me do that earlier with my class.
Right.
How I modeled how they can go into this website and do this, and go on this website and do that, and copy and all that stuff. Just give them the steps of it so that they're savvy enough to be able to use it on their own.
Okay.
You can use it alongside your practice while you're up there teaching. You can give them questions to answer, and as they answer them, they can put their answers in to check their own answers.
Oh.
So think about you put like your do now might be a sentence that's incorrect.
Right.
They write on their paper the correct sentence, the way they want to do it. Then you have them type it into AI and see if they did it correctly.
Oh, I like that.
So they'll give the feedback on that. Okay. Critical thinking. You still want them, like I was saying, it's not perfect, but you want them to be able to question the model and check what the model is doing. So letting them know it's not perfect, it can make mistakes, and help them to not just believe everything ChatGPT spits out. You know what I'm saying? Basically what I'm trying to say. Okay.
So you're saying that once they, if I give them a sentence to correct, they write it down, they input it into ChatGPT, but once they do that, they can ask ChatGPT why did they choose those corrections?
Why they made those corrections. It'll explain to them why. You can even they can even ask ChatGPT, what is the purpose of commas? Like, why do we use commas? Or why do we use periods? And it will tell them, and they can make it in simple. You can get them to type in a simple way, tell me this, because you want to match their reading level.
Gosh.
And then you saw earlier when I was modeling using it, I found a text-to-speech website where they can take what ChatGPT is saying and put it in the text-to-speech so it can read it to them, so that if it's something that's, because ChatGPT will spit out a long thing, they be like, oh my God, this is a lot. So if they can just copy and paste it into one of those text-to-speech websites, it'll read it to them, and then they'll get the same information.
Gotcha.
Okay. So after the lesson, for an assessment, you can use a traditional writing assessment. And make sure that they're able, so basically once they've worked with ChatGPT, the goal is still for them to be able to write it out on paper and do it correctly. If you want to have them type it, that's another option, but they can write it as a traditional site, give them a prompt or whatever, and have them write and see if it's really working. And then consider self-reflection. Once they have done their prompt, discuss how did the LLM, the ChatGPT basically, help their writing process. How did the system help them to kind of, critique their experience with it. Okay. So, you also have to provide for our students, especially your resource class, like I said, those additional supports. They may need help, make sure they see the website, that they can type it in on their own. Make sure, like I said, that you discuss the importance of them knowing that they have to have their own judgment when using ChatGPT. It's not going to be the end all and be all of everything. And also make sure they're not putting anything private, any personal information into ChatGPT. Because it holds whatever data you put in it and uses it to answer other people's questions. So you don't want to put anything private or personal in there.
I never thought of that. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So it's not a replacement. It's just a tool. So this is a checklist to help you go through when you're developing your lesson.
Okay.
And then here are some of those suggestions that I had for activities you can do.
Okay, thank you. This is
You are so
definitely,
welcome.
I am definitely going to incorporate this into my lesson for sure.
Now, did you need me to model? I know I showed you up there. I modeled with my class. Do you want to see close up how I do?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna go to, since I'm on Google right now, Google Gemini, but we have to go to what the students can actually access, which is ChatGPT. So that's the website for it. The chat OpenAI.com. So you see, as I put things in, it is holding on and keeping all the different things I asked them, so I can always go back. Okay. So one time I asked them, what can I do for stocking stuffers? I'm sorry, for my kids for Christmas. So it can do a lot of different things.
Wow.
So I'm going to go to new chat. This is going to start a new history. So it's going to save it over there and it's going to name it for me to help me figure out what it was that I was working on before. Okay.
So is this where the student would type in their sentence?
The student would type in a sentence. But first, let's generate some models for you. Okay. So let's say we wanted to create a paragraph, if I can spell, with errors. And what do you want to do? Capitalization, punctuation?
Capitalization.
That, how many sentences?
3.
That is 3 sentences long. And is there some reading level you want to do?
I usually try to stick with 4th, 5th grade.
Okay.
So let's go with 4th grade.
Okay. And it's on the 4th grade reading level. All right. So we've told it, we were trying to be as specific as possible in order to get a good result. So create a paragraph with error and capitalization that is 3 sentences long and on the 4th grade reading level. Let's see what it gives us. So now, once upon a time there lived a brave princess who went on adventures in a magical forest. She met a friendly unicorn who helped her find the hidden treasure. Together they journeyed through the enchanted woods, laughing and singing along the way. Now, what I'm noticing in this, the errors that is given is capitalizing things that don't have to be capitalized. So that's a good one because it's doing the opposite of what we usually do, which is make things lowercase. But you can you please put in errors and capital and errors by adding proper nouns that aren't capitalized. So now we're saying we get that you're that you capitalizing words that don't have to be capitalized. But now we want you to add some of those uncapitalized proper nouns.
Okay.
So we're gonna see what it gives us.
So they gave us the same 3
Let me
sentences,
see.
which
She
is
met a
nice.
friendly unicorn. But they didn't give her a they didn't put in it. Let me see. Add proper nouns to the sentence. See, sometimes it's a trial and error. You gotta work
Now,
with it.
if you want it to be, you would have to say names. Because
Oh.
you know the proper nouns could be person, place, or thing.
Or thing.
So that's why they gave
That's
you.
why. See, now
So
you the teacher, the student is helping the teacher. Okay, add names to the paragraph.
Oh, they gave it a name, Princess Lily.
Lily and the magical forest. See,
Name Sparkle.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Add capitalization.
Oh yeah.
So they added some. So it's trial and error, and
Yeah.
you may want to say give it a topic. Sometimes that may be better.
Mm-hmm.
Create a paragraph with obvious capitalization errors about
Little Red
cell.
Riding Hood.
I was gonna say cell division.
Oh, right, because that is incorporated
On the
biology.
grade level.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how long it is. Once more time, cells and doing cell division, cells make copies of themselves. Now, I'm going to show you, even though the students can't access Google Gemini, let's see what Google Gemini would have said. Because I'm telling you, it's better. But the students won't be able to, but it's ChatGPT is good enough for them to be able to do what they need to do. But this will help you generate better things. Yeah, main growing, but how to get so big. Oh, all caps. So the size time to split and plus like a balloon diagram. Oh, see, that's simple enough for them to read too.
Right.
Yeah, and they can see their errors in capitalization.
Okay, and I
You
would
may-
like that. I would like to use that today.
Okay.
That's nice.
Do you want to just have capitalization errors with? We can specify what kind of capitalization errors and may get a better result too. But if you go to your computer. Now, when did you want to do this? Because I need to end this video because it's getting long.
Oh, okay.
When did you want to? Because we did the modeling at the same time. That's the only reason.
Right.
When do you want to? You want to practice this today?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we will implement it and practice it today.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.